It's the Droid Turbo 2 Android smartphone. We're going to talk about that next on Geekazine. You know, earlier this month I got to go to London for a conference. The folks at Verizon supplied me with the Droid Turbo 2 phone, which is a shatterless screen phone, and gave me an international plan while I was there. The best part, it was really a great phone to take with me to London. Now let's start with all the details on this device. This is what's called an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 processor running at 2.0 gigahertz. The GPU is Adreno 430 at 600 megahertz. It has 3 megabytes of RAM and either 32 or 64 gigabytes of internal storage, with a micro SD card slot supporting up to 2 terabits. The AMOLED display is 5.4 inches and produces a 1440p Quad HD screen, otherwise known as 2560 by 1440. The main screen is called Shatter Shield, and many have dropped it, ran over it, hammered it, or done other items to the screen. Now, since this is a loaner model from Verizon, I can't do any of those things, but I can tell you that we did drop this phone out of pocket a couple times and did not see any scratches or major bumps. Let's talk a bit about the battery. It's a 3760 milliamp battery and gives you up to 48 hours of mixed usage. In my sit test, the phone stayed charged for 3 to 4 days. Of course, the phone also has turbo power charging and what they state 13 hours of power within 15 minutes. And while it's not a waterproof phone, it does have a water repellent nano coating for those times that you get some water on the phone, like when you're in the bathroom shaving or something like that. The camera is 21 megapixels with a 2.0 aperture, color correlated temperature CCT flash with dual LED for best capture in bright and dark settings. Many features in the phone include photos and video, and slow motion, 4K at 30 frames per second, and video HDR. Front ported speakers allow you to watch videos without cupping your hand on the side, and the phone also has 5 microphone support with active noise cancellation for when you're capturing stuff live. Finally, the Droid Turbo 2 has multiple sensors including the accelerometer, ambient light, gyroscope, Hall effect, infrared, proximity, and magnometer, which is basically measuring magnetic field pull. With all these features, is the Droid Turbo 2 worth the $649 price tag? Now, when we come back, I'll look at all the pros and cons along with the Verizon International plan and how it worked outside the country. Now, when I first pulled out this phone, when I got it and turned it on, I instantly noticed the screen. It was brighter and crisper than any other phone that I've had and reviewed this last year. I've seen some reviews on how this phone, they say it looks ugly, but this black leather back version has a stylish executive look, and I didn't find it ugly at all. In fact, it fit in my hand perfect. Now, the one thing that I know about people who own phones with larger batteries, they go out of their way to find a comparable replacement with just as powerful of a battery. The tests I've done with this phone can show that it does that job. It was nice not having to pull out an external battery or plug the phone in the wall halfway through the day, and I can plug it in within 15 minutes, get enough charge to go out for a couple more hours. The main downfall is the phone does have some bloatware on it through Verizon. Cookie Jam, Panda Pop, Sugar Smash, or just a few games you might want to take off. It also has the Verizon programs loaded, which you may need, including the NFL program when you're overseas. Now, when I say 21 megapixel camera, it's actually only for the 4.3 ratio photos. If you want to do anything widescreen or 16 by 9, that's a 16.9 megapixel picture. The slow motion camera is only 720p and only at 28 frames per second. It does a good job in recording the slow motion, so I'm not sure if it records a higher frame rate and then processes it in 28 frames per second. The end result is not choppy or blurry. Nonetheless, your copy is a non-standard frame rate, so if you do any editing, post-editing with it, you have to watch out for that. But bottom line, this phone is not only performed very well in London with the international plan from Verizon, we were able to not only keep in touch with friends and family, but also post some of the great times we had right away. Now, if you own a Verizon phone plan and are traveling outside the United States, you should contact Verizon and get pricing before you leave. Verizon has the travel pass option starting at $2 a day with talk and text inside North America. My trip to the UK was actually about $10 per day, and we used about 130 megabytes for the week we were there. Of course, this wasn't I had two phones there and was switching back between my iPhone and this Verizon phone. They also have rates for cruise ships. But what are your thoughts on it? Do you have the Droid Turbo 2? What do you think of it? Let me know. Good or bad, let me know. Tweet me over at Geekazine or geekazine@gmail.com. Think magazine and put in a geek. Thanks a lot for watching. We will see you next time. Until then, you guys geek out and take care.